Hi guys, it's Splash and Crash here, back with another video. And yeah, so before we start with this video, be sure to subscribe. We just hit 30 subscribers recently, and I will be uploading my 30 subscriber special sometime in the next week. Also, soon I will be starting 2K content as I'm getting in one of the new Xboxes. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, so anyways, in today's video, we are going to be talking about why I think the 2018 draft is going to go down as one of the best drafts of all time, at that same level as the 1996 draft, 1984, and 2003, which sounds absolutely ridiculous because of how talented those drafts were. But yeah, I'm going to be going into the talent and explaining why I think this draft could be on that level. I'll be breaking down all the top players, like from the superstars down to the role players, just breaking it all down. And yeah, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see why I think that. One thing that's common between 1984, 1996, and 2003 is they've had that like clear number one player from that draft. They had a ton of other superstars and all-time greats in those classes, but they had that one player that was just way better than all the other players. 1984 had Michael Jordan, 2003 had LeBron, and 1996 had Kobe. For 2018, that player is Luka Doncic. So Luka Doncic is probably going to be the best player in the league very soon. Right now, he's the MVP frontrunner for the upcoming season, and if he wins it, he'll actually be the youngest MVP ever, which is a great way to start your career. And yeah, already in his second season, he almost won Most Improved Player after having one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time, which is he averaged almost a 30-point triple-double while leading his team to a playoff run, and they were actually a 3 seed before his injury. The only reason they were a 7 seed is because after he came back from his injury, they'd slipped too far for them to really recover in the Western Conference. But yeah, if not for a Porzingis injury, and unwarranted suspension, there's a very good chance that that series would have went to 7, and maybe the Mavericks could have won it. So Luka, he's going to be one of the faces of the league for the next decade, maybe even more. He's going to compete with Giannis for that number one spot in the league, and based off his career trajectory, he is probably also going to be in the GOAT debate. And before you type in the comments that I'm going way overboard, which I definitely am, I'm saying his career trajectory, right now he projects, based off where he's at age 21 compared to where LeBron was, where Jordan was, all these all-time greats, he projects to have a similar career path. I'm not saying he will, but that's what the projection is looking like right now. So, Luka Doncic is going to be the face of this draft, that GOAT level player, that face of the league, best player in the league type of player that all of these all-time great drafts have. Another thing all of these drafts had were some more superstars and 1 to 2 more MVP level players. 1984 had Charles Barkley and Hakeem as MVP level players, and John Stockton as another superstar. 1996 had Steve Nash and Allen Iverson as as MVP level players. On top of that, they also had players like Ray Allen. And 2003 had another MVP level player in Dwayne Wade alongside LeBron James, who is that face of the draft. And plus they had 2 more superstars in Carmelo Anthony and Chris Bosh. So yeah, I think you understand what I mean. So for 2018, you have at least 1 more MVP level player, who will be Trae Young. Trae Young has pretty much been Steph Curry shooting-wise and Chris Paul playmaking-wise, which is absolutely ridiculous. He hasn't really led his team too much, and I think once his team starts winning, like, he won't be averaging 30 and 10. But I think he'll still be an elite scorer and an elite playmaker. And then you have 3 more players who project to be superstars, and any one of these 3 could end up being an MVP level player. You have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who this year has really emerged as like a player who's already a star caliber player at just age 21. He's shown the ability to be an elite playmaker as well as an elite defender. He's also super athletic, and he has a pretty decent jump shot that's getting better. You have Michael Porter Jr., who has been a very good scorer so far in the NBA and has shown flashes of being an all-time great one. He has been pretty inconsistent, but in the games he has been given a good amount of minutes, he scores like crazy. And before the playoffs, like in the bubble, he was averaging 27 points per game, which is just ridiculous. And in the bubble, he averaged about 15 points per game off the bench, which is pretty good considering he missed his entire rookie season due to injury. He's just still getting back into that form that he was in before his injury issues. But yeah, so Michael Porter, he could be a superstar, and if he completely reaches his potential, like the potential we saw he had before all those injuries, like he could be at the same level as like Trae Young, maybe even probably not Luka, but like something close to it. And then finally we have Jaren Jackson Jr., who, he's looking really good. I know he's coming off an injury and he's had a few injury problems, but like Jaren Jackson Jr., in the few games he played in the bubble before his injury, he was averaging 25 points per game. Most like players take a huge jump in their sophomore season. A lot of the players in this draft did that, and I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to take a similar type of jump in his 3rd season, because he's actually a year younger than all of these other guys since he reclassified. So yeah, he's way more raw than these players, and I think he's going to take a huge jump next year. A lot of other people also agree with me, and he is probably going to be one of the players in the most improved player race. So yeah, you have at least 4 other superstar level players, but that's not it. On top of all of those guys, we've still got some more all-star caliber players. So first off, we obviously have DeAndre Ayton, who is very close to making an all-star team already in his career, and I really wanted to put him in the superstar category, but he just hasn't shown enough defensively. He also he showed signs of a 3-point shot, but doesn't look like it's going to be anything amazing just yet. But yeah, he is definitely getting better, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being a superstar. But right now, I think he's going to be a borderline superstar, perennial all-star type player. Then we have Mitchell Robinson, who is a super athletic, amazing defensive player who can catch alley-oops and is very efficient in the paint, as he actually set the record this past season for the best field goal percentage of all time in a single season, which was a Wilt Chamberlain record, and it's crazy that a 2nd-round pick broke a Wilt Chamberlain record in his 2nd season. But yeah, so Mitchell Robinson's going to be a defensive player of the year type player. He might develop a jump shot, but don't count on it. But yeah, he's going to be really good inside. He's going to be like a better, more athletic, better offensive version of Rudy Gobert. Then we have Marvin Bagley, who, we haven't seen much of him due to injury, but he still has a ton of potential to be a really good center or a power forward in the NBA. So, yeah. Even though he hasn't shown us much Like, in the minutes he has played, he did look really good. So I think he can still be an all-star level player. Then we have Colin Sexton, who's going to be an amazing pure scorer in the NBA. He was really good this past season, averaging over 20 points per game. And I expect that to continue. And I think he's going to get more and more efficient in the next few years. And then we have Devontae Graham, who is looking like he can be a slightly better version of Lou Williams, which is definitely all-star caliber. Even though Lou Williams has came off the bench for most of his career, he was always all-star caliber. And if he started, he would have definitely made the all-star team. But yeah, so Devontae Graham, he's going to be that type of player. And then we have Dante DiVincenzo, who you might be wondering about, because, like, I don't think you've ever thought of him as a star. But the thing is, he's amazing on the defensive end, and he's been getting much, much better at offense. He's also looking very likely to break out in one of the next few seasons, and because of that, I think he will be a star in the NBA, at least making one all-star team throughout his career. Then we have Gary Trent Jr., who a lot of you have forgot about since the Blazers got eliminated a long time ago. But if you remember, back when they were playing, Gary Trent was averaging almost 20 points per game off the bench. And yeah, he's super young. He's 6'5". He's a very good shot creator, and he's a decent defender. So yeah, as Dame and CJ age out, I think they'll start to build around Gary Trent. And finally, we have Mo Bamba. And you might be wondering about this one as well, because, like, Mo Bamba, he barely has done anything in his career, but he still has all of that potential. He's still super fast. Now he's put on a ton of muscle, so he's going to be one of the strongest players in the league. He's going to be super fast. He's also shown the ability to shoot threes, so yeah, he's one of the most athletic players in the league. He's shown the ability to stretch the floor. He's very good on the defensive end. And I think if the Magic just start him, like, he's going to rapidly show people, like, he is the real deal, and that he's not a bust, and that he's actually a star-level player. So yeah, that's 8 all-star caliber players, 4 like superstar to MVP level players, and 1 like top 10 of all time level player. Then finally you have the role players. And this is one of the places where this draft really shines. This draft is so deep. All of these guys are going to be very good contributors, and some of these guys maybe even get to that all-star level, but right now I'm predicting them to be like good role players. Some of them could be borderline all-star level players, but yeah. So first off, we have Wendell Carter, who just missed the cut for that like all-star level player. I don't think he's going to be quite there, but I think he's still going to be a very good player. And then we have 16 other players that I think are going to be very good contributors in the NBA. So yeah, there's way too many for me to go in depth for all of them, so I'll just list them all off. So we have Josh Okogie, Moritz Wagner, Landry Shamet, Amari Spellman, Shake Milton, Grayson Allen, Mikal Bridges, Lonnie Walker, Kevin Huerter, Anthony Simmons, Aaron Holiday, Robert Williams, Troy Brown, Zaire Smith, Miles Bridges, and DeAnthony Melton. So yeah, if you combine all of that, there are 30 players that can be decent contributors to superstar level players in this draft. Obviously, not all of them have that superstar level potential, but I'm just saying, like, there are 30 really good players in this draft, and some of the other guys in this draft could potentially emerge. Like, Kostas Antetokounmpo was in this draft. He hasn't really done much yet, but he has freakish athleticism. He's an Antetokounmpo, so he might emerge. Like, yeah, this draft is so deep. It has so much stars. Like, it just has everything you want from a great draft class. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you understand why I think this draft is like that insane. By now, if you don't, I think you probably at least see where I'm coming from. Like, a lot of you guys probably don't think this draft is going to be that good yet, because it has only been 2 seasons. So this draft might not be as good as it looks right now, but like if everything just works out, this draft is most likely going to be at the same level as 1996, 1984, and 2003. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked it. Also, check out my other videos. I've been uploading for a few months now. So, yeah, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Anyways, there's not much else to say, so bye.